Okay, so I'm trying to reinstall the carbs and having a bit of trouble, and I hope that you guys can learn from my mistake. So the first thing I did wrong was I fitted the carbs onto the engine. So here, fitted these in here. That's the wrong thing to do. The first thing to do, I think, is fit the airbox. So fit the airbox first before you do anything else, and then fit the airbox rubbers here, and then you can slide the carbs in, but they won't go. So what you actually need to do when you fit the airbox rubbers, and this one I haven't yet done, but if you go over here you can see what I've done. You then have to recess them. You have to push them back through so that all we've got down there is just the little mouth of the rubber. I'm going to put this light down and try and show you. The light's not so good now. So there we go. So these, if you can see, I've pushed them right the way back in, and they come right out like this, but they're in the way like that. So I've pushed them right back through, and I've still got this last one over here to do. Okay, so now I've recessed the now I've managed to recess the rubber just here. Then the carbs will now fit down in the gap. So with a bit of working, I can get the carbs between both rubbers. Then it's a job to push the carbs onto the rubbers on the engine block, and then slip on the rubbers from the airbox. So that's the plan. And, okay, so now the carbs are slid onto these rubbers that are on the the engine block, and now all I've got to do is connect the rubbers from the airbox, which is this part here with the horizontal markings on it. So from the airbox onto the mouths of the carbs there, and I've left the airbox, it's loose, it's not connected, so I can move it around. It actually bolts onto the battery box, but I've left that loose. So the next step is to fit these rubbers onto here, and then lift the battery box up and secure it, and that should be it. But it's been a nightmare, really tricky. And I think this, well, that's done now. I don't know if you can see, but I've got these rubbers on down here. These that join from the carb to the airbox, and they're all done. I don't know if you can see in there, but the light's very poor, isn't it? I'm sorry about that. Light's too poor, really. But anyway, that was the most frustrating job I think I've done on this bike so far. I've cut my knuckles to ribbons, and if there is an easier way of doing it, I'd like someone to tell me what it is, because it's been a nightmare. But anyway, there we are, they're on the bike now, so